Before we move into the 34 individual CliftonStrengths themes, let's take one intentional breath. Because by now, something might be stirring. Maybe these domains felt familiar, like someone finally put words to what you've always sensed. Or maybe you're still not sure, still skeptical, still wondering, is this actually real? You wouldn't be alone. Most people hear the words personality test and brace for pop psychology, the kind you find on social media or in a magazine sidebar. But that's not what this is. This is different. And here's why. CliftonStrengths is the result of over 50 years of behavioral research, millions of data points, refined psychometrics, and repeatable reliability. It's not trying to label you. It's trying to reflect something already happening beneath your surface. Patterns, preferences, predictable tendencies in how you think, feel, and act when you're at your best. Here's what most people miss. Taking the assessment is just the beginning. Naming your strengths isn't the point. Developing them is. And that takes time. It takes focus. It takes repetition. Because talent on its own isn't strength. Strength is talent that's been trained. When I took the assessment, one of my top 5 strengths was strategic. At first, I didn't know how to build that strength intentionally. So I turned to my favorite tool, an LLM, and asked a version of a question I learned from author and flow expert Steven Kotler. What are the 5 best books I could read to develop strategic thinking? Kotler calls this the 5 books of stupid framework, though we'll call it something more generous. The 5 gear method for learning anything. It's simple. You read 5 types of books in this order. 1. A popular book to get excited and build interest. 2. A slightly more technical one to learn the key concepts and terms. 3. A semi-technical book with foundational theories and research. And 4. A hard technical one that grounds you in science or structure. And 5. A future-focused book that expands your thinking. Here's what came back when I used it for studying strengths at the highest level. First, a popular book, Now Discover Your Strengths. 2, a slightly more technical one, The Power of Strengths. 3, semi-technical, Character, Strengths, and Virtues. 4, a technical book, Strength-Based Leadership. And 5, a future-focused book called Peak. That's the beauty of Kotler's 5-book method. It isn't just about strengths and theory. It's about finding practical pathways into development, layer by layer. And while I originally used it to explore strengths more broadly, one result stood out. Because one of my top themes is strategic, and when I applied this framework to strategic thinking itself, a book surfaced that reframed everything. It's called The 6 Disciplines of Strategic Thinking by Michael Watkins, the same author behind The First 90 Days. This book gave language to instincts I didn't know I had. It mapped the internal moves of a strategic mind, and it offered a framework for not just naming the pattern, but strengthening it. We'll explore those 6 disciplines more deeply in a future mini-series, but for now, just know this. No strength is static. Clarity becomes power when it's practiced. So if something resonated in the last few episodes, if you caught a glimpse of how you really move through the world, this is your moment to commit. Not to proving yourself, but to working with what's already true. And if you're still unsure, we get it. That's why we're building a whole playlist dedicated to the science behind strengths, hosted by Dr. Mark North. He's going to walk through the deeper layers, why personality is more stable than you think, what the research actually says, and how strength-based development changes lives without putting people in boxes. But if you're ready now, here's a place to begin. Take the CliftonStrengths assessment. Let it show you what's already moving beneath the surface. Then start reading. Ask better questions. Find the friction and follow the flow. Next episode, we begin our deep dive into the first theme, Achiever, the steady fire that moves things forward. Subscribe now if you haven't already. This is where the work begins. And as always, watch for the patterns. They're not random. They're the beginning of mastery.